to sing a bit of both, and you decide which one you like. Both are a couple of standbys on the lone prairie when we're out in the cold. Have yourself a prairie cowboy Christmas. Find some Yuletide glee. From now on, these cattle will be all you see. Here we are on the trail again, drinking ale again, and bored. No presents or a Christmas tree, just the lone prairie once more. No! Cut! No! Rusty, not that one! What else you got? Well, how about this one? All I want for Christmas is this damn herd sold. This damn herd sold. Stop! Wait, no! Rusty, don't you have anything that is a little less cow-oriented and depressing? No cows and less depressing. You do know I'm a cowboy, right? What else is there? You know, something a little more seasonal and Christmassy. Good feeling. Well, maybe you'll like this one. Oh, little town of El Paso, how still we see thee lie. Thy Christmas trees are all lit up, and stars are shining bright. The hangman's noose is empty, and guns have all gone quiet. One time of year, you know such cheer is here on Christmas night. Okay, it will have to do, unless someone can find something better quickly.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now bring us some figgy pudding. Now bring us some figgy pudding. Now bring us some figgy pudding and bring it out here. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. For we all like figgy pudding. For we all like figgy pudding. For we all like figgy pudding. So bring it out here. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I won't come until I get some. I won't come until I get some. I won't come until I get some.
I don't think that's how the song goes, Miss Cockett.
Honey, you sing it your way. I'll sing it mine.
So bring some out here. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
It's all a bunch of horse poop.
This channel is a not-so-proud member of YouTube's all-encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. Check any railway show, check any railway club, check any layout, check your own house. You'll find one of us somewhere. Warning, the content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16. The topic, language, themes, attitude, and personality of the presenter is not appropriate for anyone, much less children under the age of 16. Topics discussed will not center on trains and will focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between characters, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence. Any rebroadcast or transmission of the stream without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember the 3 rules for model train layouts and pretty much anything. It's your layout, do what you want as you want. Do not tell someone else what to do unless they ask you directly what they should do. Do not call out, mock, criticize, or insult another channel on your channel or anyone else's channel. Thank you for your cooperation.
See it, you'll love it, and it's all done in the best possible way.
Hey, happy Friday, everybody. And people have been lining up again. It's amazing. 10, 15, 20 minutes before this live stream starts, there are people waiting to get in. I'm blown away by that. I'm blown away. It's nice to see everybody. Let's see. Let's go right into greeting everybody who's here. Tom Couples is here. As always, great to see you, sir. Ewan. Privileged and honored to have you here, sir. Andy the Hot Dog Pilot. We have Randall Ellison. Nice to have you here. Hope you're feeling better. I understand you have not been feeling well the last couple of days. No, I'm going to miss people, but I'll do my best. Ifo, great to have you all the way here from the Netherlands. And did you see the new Merkland? They're doing the rail cars, one in KLM, and they're just amazing. Let's see. Curly from Curly Express is here. Hey, Dwight, how you doing? Boxcar Jerry, nice to have you. Dino from the Model Railway Shed, great to have you here. The New Durham Junction is here. Joseph Agliato and Hi from H&H Express are here. Welcome, fellow Knights of the Rhomboid Table. Gotland Station, 00 ELR Junction is here. Bernie from Crossways Point Junction. Bernie, you've had a couple of live feed, but they've been on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And man, I mean, I'm not asking you to change, but I watch Cayenne on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I am not allowed to watch or be on the computer. Cayenne has me running everywhere. Digger Evans is here. Chris from Valley's 56XX is here. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody. Andy from March West Junction. Ray Boble is here. Nice to have you here. Mick is here. Mick from Edgeley Park Station. And am I missing somebody? I know I've missed somebody. I apologize. My screen did just do a super jump ahead. But I think I'll do a double check here. Chris Hattrell. Yes, I saw you come in. Kieran is here. Nice to have you. All right, Kieran, good old friend. Hope you're doing well, Kieran. And Chris has come back. Says he got back into his trains a bit, so that's good to hear. So let me change my screen and get it caught up. I think I have now caught up with everybody. Again, feel free to advertise your channel or up-and-coming channel. I've come across a couple recently. There's Malvern Hill Junction. I know it's Malvern. Is one I meant to give a shout out to, and somebody else I gave a shout out to last week, and my brain's not working. So yeah, not a lot happening in the world, other than yes, I've been doing those the Fowler and Note calendar countdowns, and I appreciate the support. It's a it's not hard work, but it is a little weird. I do film them the night before, so I hope I'm not breaking any rules by actually, I'm opening day 10 on day 9 because I opened day 9 on day 8. I do film those the evening before. That's why I can get them out early in the morning for my friends in Europe, because most of my audience is European. Let me see. Oh, Christopher is here. I skipped Christopher. I know that. And Raymond Legs is here. There's one coming out from PP Mouth. But yeah, it's interesting because the first 3 really kind of shot out of the gate, got 130, 140, 150 views. And then it's just been each succeeding one has gotten fewer views, and I think today's has only got about 55 views at this point. So I mean, it's still the people that I expect to watch them are watching and commenting, so that's great. But yeah, I film them. I do film them the night before, and to get them out. And I hope, I mean, I think it's kind of fun. I'm curious to see what's behind each door. There are some themes, multiple themes for each. Like Fowler has the Christmas market characters. There's at least, there's 4 characters now on the Fowler that are clearly in winter clothes and like out and about on the Christmas market or something like that. Then Fowler also has some workers. The Noch one has the shepherd, and then it has the hikers, so the shepherd and some sheep. There's a couple of hikers, and then there is, they've got some workers as well, a couple of guys with chainsaws and all that. Hey, Lee is here. Hi, Lee. How are you? Hope you're well, Lee, and Jackie, if she's in the background back there. Yeah, he probably is. Are you a mod or a rocker? I'm a Malka. So, but yeah, it's nice to get the comments, and because that's what I really respond to, is the comments. The people that are like, oh, hey, I really enjoy you doing this. This has been really cool. Thanks for doing this. So that's where I'm at. So I appreciate that. Anyhow, the other big thing is I did put out, we had an interesting week. It's hard to believe, but last weekend, my daughter was going down to Findlay, Ohio, which is about 45 minutes south of us, 45, 50 minutes south of us. She was taking Cayenne down to a Christmas train ride. They do the Santa Claus thing, and they have a big light up display that the train runs through. So if you saw on my channel, I posted a couple of different videos of that. It's funny, I did 2 shorts. The first short, 1,800 views. The second short, 170 views. Just, okay. And then I did all the video I had. I did not videotape or film as much because I was using my camera, because Cayenne doesn't let me put them down. Like, Cayenne, I have to like, Cayenne, don't you want to see Grandma for a couple of minutes? And grab out my camera and film what I could. But that was really cool. So maybe that'll become a yearly event that we go down there. This was my daughter. She was like, hey, Dad, we're going down here, and it is trains, and they have some layouts as well, if you want to come along. So there was it's family, so I'm going to go anyhow. But I mean, I think she was just adding that extra carrot in front of the horse's nose to talk me into going. I don't know. But yeah, it was fun, and Cayenne really had some eye openers. But that was great. All you got in your calendar was chocolate. So there's that, and I've been writing a lot of Matt Clarke. I'm not done yet. I really wanted to be done by today so I could start recording tomorrow. But things came up, and I put myself on a deadline because I've announced it's coming 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks from today, we will do a premiere and then have a short live stream afterwards. But I will do a premiere of the second Christmas special. Again, I've got so many new people, wonderful new people that have joined my channel in the last couple of months. And it's awesome because they've jumped in, they're coming to the live feeds every Friday, and they have they're already, it feels like they've been here forever. But many of them are not familiar with Matt Clarke. Some of you here are not that familiar with Matt Clarke. And Matt Clarke is, outside of talking to the people I talk to, Matt Clarke is my favorite thing on YouTube. It is my favorite creation. It is everything I'm into rolled into one. It's a subversive comedy, a little bit of silliness and history thrown in. It's my creative writing, and it's trains. It has to be centered around trains. And I have a blast with it. And when I figured several months ago, I figured I would do hey, Leslie's here. Hey, Leslie, nice to have you here. Hope you're doing well. You've been out in the cold. The thing is, you really won't understand the Christmas special mostly unless you have watched the series. And there are 2 series plus last year's Christmas special. And last year's Christmas special is Joyce's favorite episode, period. It's an hour long, but it's Joyce's favorite episode. There are small episodes in each of the series she likes. I mean, she likes Matt Clarke. She really likes it. But if you wanted to take one bit, she loves the Christmas special. And a lot of people loved the Christmas special last year. And when I decided to try to write a second Christmas special, because I didn't know, I planned on it all along, but as we got close to the season, so much has happened. I just haven't been able to tap into that funny part. I mean, so many negative things have happened to me personally, to Joyce, to friends of ours, friends on YouTube, friends in real life. It's been a hard year. I'm other than my retirement and our trip to the UK, 2022 has been kind of a year for me personally. And I'm glad to see it going. But we had highlights. The trip to the UK was amazing and all that. Anyhow, when I sat down and tried to start writing and come up with a plot, the one thing I knew I couldn't do is I never like to do derivatives where, like, people say, oh, you should do Scrooge. No, there's 10,000 parodies of Scrooge already. Oh, well, you should do Christmas Story, or you should do... No, that's just it. I don't want to take somebody else's story, plot line, or silliness and try to incorporate it as mine. I have to be original. The silliness has to... The plot line can't be something I borrowed from something else. Ideas and some concepts I'll happily steal, but so it was kind of hard to, but I finally found a plot I'm really happy with. But it's going to be funny, but very different than last year's. Last year was just zany, over the top, goofy, crazy humor. This one's going to be a little more subdued and well, it's definitely a lot more adult humor. And Matt Clarke has a lot of adult humor, but this series, there's a lot of it in this, if you didn't see that. Hey, Mark, how are you? But again, if you want to understand anything about me, well, no, you want to understand me anyhow. But the Matt Clarke series is me at my greatest. Okay, so that's going. And then I've also been working on our trip to Germany and had it all planned out. And I've already started, we've already bought the plane tickets, and now we've booked all the places we're going to stay. And now we're booking trains as soon as Deutsche Bahn lets us book trains. So anyhow, let's look at what we're going to be running today. And let's get some trains running. I've been babbling for 15 minutes already. All right, so we have brought the Railjet out here, that beautiful Czech Railjet right in front of you. Right above the Czech Railjet is the ICE-3. He is one of 2 trains that is staying out on the layout. Behind that, we have the IC-2 with the Class 146-5 locomotive. Hey, Tom's here. Hello, Tom. How are you? Oh, I'm sorry to hear you lost your cat, Tom. Right now, and by the way, Bernie, I know those are only when you can do it. That's why I said I'm not asking you to change. It's just, that's why I'm not able to get in there and pop up. It's just, Cayenne won't let me. To be honest, I wouldn't mind losing a couple of cats right now. But anyhow, so we got the Class 146 locomotive there. 146.5. Next to it in yellow is the metronome. And the metronome, that's a Class 146 too. So those two locomotives there are basically the same two class of locomotive. They just, to make it a high-speed train, they adjusted the braking system and a couple of other things. And then way in the back, the cars are the same, but it's a different locomotive. I have the red Regio-Bahn double-decker cars. So we've got 3 sets of double-deckers in a row, the IC2, the metronome, and the Regio-Bahn. And then way in the back, it's kind of hard to see, and it doesn't match. The locomotive does not go with these cars, but I'm running some pre-World War I Prussian State Railway cars. So let us get some cars in motion. Let's get the trains in motion, and let's hope they run smoothly. Gonna have everybody take off. Yep. And yep, your lights are the right way, so we're good. And get this going. That guy always, he's got a real slow startup, which is supposed to be very realistic. And let's go to the multi-view. Okay, so there we have the trains going. Again, I hope everybody's doing all right. As long as Mrs. Slocum's not in the room. To get home, my pussy was all out of salts. I do have a Hercules diesel, but it's parked right now. The status of my ICE4 is that the motor's burned out and I got to send it out and get it fixed. And I can get it fixed for free and send it back to Germany. But I think I'll just pay and have it fixed at either Renaud's or Helmut's. Or I've got a couple of things out being repaired by my one fix-it guy. And when he gets those done, I may just send it to him because he does the best anyhow. So it's just sitting. It works. All the functions work, but the motor is not happy. So the IC4, I'm very disappointed in. And it'll probably be a few weeks before I send it out to get repaired. Come on, BR245. So the steamer is a BR18 527. It actually is the Rheingold steamer. It's the steamer that came with the Rheingold kit, the 1928 Rheingold as opposed to the Bavarian Rheingold. But it's the only steamer I had besides the Bavarian Rheingold that didn't look completely out of sorts with that. And no, I'm not running any freight. And every now and then I'll get a comment. Though one day I'm not running freight. Somebody says, "Do you ever run freight?" And I'm like, hey, for the last 5 live feeds in a row, I've been running freight. In fact, for the last 2 live streams in a row, I've run multiple freight. So no freight today. My apologies. Oh, where is the mallard? I haven't started the mallard. So there's your mallard. I really want to put the Eurostar on there, but it does not like that radius. I need a bigger radius. I think that's the Bachmann 15-inch radius. And I think it needs a minimum of 18. The Eurostar does not like that. I'm going to buy some Trix Trix version of C-Track anyhow, and get rid of this Bachmann Easy Track. It is a duck, and it's also the fastest steam locomotive ever. Or maybe not anymore. But it set the record. And I thought, last I knew, the record had not been beaten yet. The Stahl mit Stahl. I am really leery of buying Pico locomotives right now. I bought 2 and I've had problems with both. Even my Czech Railjet is acting up lately. Sorry, Ray, we were... Okay. They're all supposed to be named after birds. See, I didn't know that. Because there's like the silver fox or the gray fox, something like that. And then there's the Nigel Greshly. But there was also another locomotive named the Sir Nigel Greshly, however you pronounce his last name. Yeah, metal on metal. Steel on steel. Stahl auf Stahl. Auf is one of the 2 ways in German of saying on. Actually, there's more than 2 ways, but the 2 basic ways. Auf is horizontal layering. Like, you put something on a desk, that's auf. If you're putting it on a wall, you say an. Auf is horizontal, an is vertical. When you're dealing with prepositions, but those words have other meanings as well. Auf can mean until, because you could say auf Wiedersehen, which literally means until we see each other again. The German way of saying goodbye, auf Wiedersehen, translates as until we see each other again. But then there's bis, also means until. Bis bald, until later. Or actually, bis bald is until soon. Bis später, until later. Yeah, I'm going to just get some Trix C-Track. I just like the way C-Track holds together. And this Bachmann is... And C-Track doesn't need rail joiners, which this Bachmann does. And C-Track spoiled me. I don't need rail joiners. And I hate rail joiners with a passion. Get Tillig track instead. I really don't know anything about Tillig EFO other than that they were, I know them as TT makers, but they do make HO in that. No Hornby for you. Yeah, I'm I'm not impressed with anything Hornby with my very, very, very limited. My Mallard here is Hornby for 135 bucks. Actually, yeah, 135 bucks. It was, well, no, it been exchange rate closer to 150 bucks. It was 125 pounds sterling. And before Ray says that, wow, that's a heavy loco at 125 pounds. How'd you get it on the layout? But yeah, it's definitely a pain in the patootie. It's very... It's very fragile. And then my Eurostar is cool looking, but wow. I mean, that it's the coupling system is like for little kids. You know, there's no way I could AC that, and it's just, you know, it's the peg and hook. You know, you got the little peg. It's not even the decouplings. It's peg and a C hook that fits over the peg. And there's no way I mean, there is a way you technically could light it all up, but wow, it would take a lot of creative work, which I don't have in me. Oh, their switches are unusable. (1940 style track besides vine art). Now, hey, Ifo, if you don't mind my ignorance, what do you mean by 1940 style? Like the way track was made in the 1940s, or the way track looked in the 1940s in reality? You're passionate. Your 8 is very passionate. Yeah, and to be honest, I am not into the Hornby versus Bachmann debate. I'm just not super impressed with Hornby track, and I'm not impressed with the 2 Hornby trains I have. It doesn't mean they don't make good stuff. I just, the Eurostar, I could have gotten a Pico El Cheapo fully digital ICE3 for the same price I paid for that Eurostar and the matching cars. And it's not digital. It's not lit. And, but it's a Beatles thing, and I'm happy with it. I don't feel like I got ripped off, but it could have been done better. That's how I'll put it. Yeah, my One Loco smokes, but I think I screwed up the smoker last Christmas because it stopped smoking and I couldn't get it to go again. I will be doing on my December 23rd live stream, I will be doing Steamer Palooza, and we will have 5 steamers going, counting the Mallard. I will have 4 steamers on the top of the layout. Yeah, the basic Mahano ICE3 is very cheap. Or you can get it in a starter kit, a slightly better one in a Mahano starter kit. And when they were on Amazon, you could get for about $220. But Pico right now has a basic ICE starter set that's about $200, but it's digital with lights. But Pico is becoming my least favorite German company. My Pico 143 was not good. Looks nice. It looks nice, but it ran, it was a very weak puller. Even on flat surface, it struggled pulling 6 cars. The American 143 is much better. My Pico Hercules is a pretty good runner, but that had a new decoder put in it and a tune-up by my guy in California. And then I've got a Pico, my Czech Railjet was awesome when I got it, but it started having problems about a year and a half after owning it, and I do try to maintain them. The high-end Deutsches Demokratisches Republik produced track. Well, hello, Peter Jackson. How are you not knighted? We need to knight you. And I declare you a knight at the rhomboid table. Hey, Kyle Stevens, nice to have you here. I think I said hi to Digger, but if not, hi again, Digger. And see, one of the funny things is everybody has their favorites and their favorites to hate. I am an American person. I have yet to buy a Miraklin that disappointed me. But I also love Brava. I also love Rocco. Rocco and Brava, to me, the stuff they make for Miraklin are really good. I would put Rocco above Brava, though Brava is supposed to be better made, just because my Brava 245 that I'm running today, the diesel 245, it is not, it ran in well, but it's already acting a bit tired, and I've kind of cleaned it up, just, see if it picks something up off the track. It runs smooth, it just doesn't get up to speed the way it's supposed to. It's got a speed dampener in it, so that's supposed to be more realistic. But even right now, it's supposed to be, I've got it cranked up to, how many kilometers an hour? It's doing about 95, it's supposed to be doing 95 kilometers an hour, and it looks like it's running at about 50 kilometers an hour. So I don't know why it's doing that, but, yeah, it's definitely not, running as well as I would like it to, considering most other things run very well. Nice and smooth. No slowdowns. It's handling what it's doing very well, but yeah, just running a bit slow. Slower than it should. Hey, Stephen the Plumber, how are you? And speaking of which, Pico has redone its Czech railjet locomotive and has just released the updated version of it. And I would like to buy it, but because Pico and Jägendorfer Collection are the only two I know that made Czech railjet locomotives. Rocco is making one, or it's, is making one, but I don't think they've made one. Rocco did make one, but I can't find it. But you have to buy the whole thing because it's the pin couplers, the computerized pin couplers. Yeah, Kyle, I don't do brass models, period. Cost, delicacy, and they don't tend to be my era anyhow. And yeah, German and brass and cheap don't belong in the same sentence. I am not a kit builder either. I will not build a kit. When I buy something that's fully together and it's, oil it and run it. I don't build anything mechanical anymore. I just can't. It's very hard. Well, hello, Ollie from Wardle Road and Rensselaer Road. How are you guys doing? Oh, you're getting ready to go to work, Rick. But, but like Miraklin just released a new version of that IC2 Class 146.5 locomotive that I'm showing going around the layout right now. But it's no different other than a slightly different sound features, and it doesn't say Delmenhorst on it, so I wouldn't pick it up anyhow. I wouldn't mind the Class 147 IC2 locomotive. I'll have to look it up. I don't know what it is. Well, hello, Pedro Spicer. Welcome in. I've got a net. What the heck are we doing with a net here? Welcome in, Pedro. Let me knight you, and I declare you knight of the rhomboid table. And yeah, let's go with this view. A lot of people like this view. Yeah, I mean, I don't have I don't have a preference, double stock versus lower stock. It just, to me, it's the livery and the type of car. I mean, my IC3, my IC4, and my Railjet are my favorite trains. They're high speed, and I've been in all of them, and they're gorgeous trains, inside and out. I like my IC2 there, and again, I'm saying IC2. There's ICE and IC. No problem, Ollie. I really love what you're doing. Ollie, there's still a part of me that would love to be on a plane and with my tool belt and helping you and learning from people. Yeah, that... Jerry, that blue and yellow is called a metronome. That is based actually outside of Hamburg. Its official headquarters is the town of Uelzen, which is a little southeast of Hamburg, but it basically runs regional traffic into and out of Uelzen, or out of Hamburg. But the company is headquartered in Uelzen. That is made by Märklin. That is a Märklin kit. Let me go to the 11-lane view here. What is not Märklin? Okay, the cars that Steamer's pulling, those are Fleischmann. Those are Fleischmann cars. Those retro cars that are way in the background. And then the red locomotive coming towards you, although the white locomotive is going to get in the way. So the four cars way in the back, and then this red locomotive. That red locomotive is from the German company Brava, B-R-A-W-A, Brava. The W in German is pronounced like a V. And then coming around the corner is the Railjet, and this Railjet is made by Yoko. Yoko? How about Roko? Whoa, wow. But the gorgeous Railjet here is made by Roko, locomotive and cars. You have to buy it as a set. Everything else is Märklin. So one locomotive, one set of cars, and the Railjet. Everything else is Märklin. Well, hi, Charlie McGowan. Welcome in. Hey, Derek Alexander's here. Nice to have you. And again, if you're first time here and you got a channel or a channel you'd like to advertise, you may post links. Also, because you are all moderators. Because you are all knighted knights of the rhomboid table. If you go to the three dots, if you hover your pointer, if you're on a computer, if you're on your phone, never mind. But you can right click and then go to anybody's channel. Hey, John Benicki, how are you? Nice to have you here. But, so, about 85% of my stock is Märklin. I really would have to go through, I could sit here on my hand and start counting the locomotives that aren't. For example, those two freight locomotives, those two Class 193s are Rocos. I've got a Class 143 Pico. My Czech Railjet is Pico. My Hercules locomotive is, that's a Class 223. They call it the Hercules. That's a Pico. And then I have my class 245 is a Brava. And I think that's it for non-American locomotives. I've got one other one. I got a Brava class 146.5, but I don't run it anymore because I've got the American one. And as far as running stock goes, again, I've got some ESU cars, Silberlingas, Enfair repainted Silberlingas, I should call them, Enfair Cares. Bunch of Pico because my Czech Railjet is Pico and my Czech IC4 or my Czech EC is Roco cars, and then the Taurus locomotive is Jägendorfer collection. I knew I was forgetting one other one, and that's it. I mean, not that anybody's taking notes, but the rest of my locomotives are. Actually, I have my list here. Not that you can see it there, but I'd say 2/3 to 3/4 of my locomotives are Märklin, and 75, again, 3/4 of my rolling stock is Märklin. Okay, EFO. Well, it's usually 11 cameras. The only time it's more than 11 is, where is it? Oh, I've got such a mess here, and I've been moving things around. There it is. My GoPro. I haven't put my GoPro on. I could put it on today. Who's in lane 1? The Railjet's in lane 1. Maybe not. You mean the one that's next to me here? I mean there. That is Bachmann Easy Track, and I want to say it's the 15-inch radius. And the little Mallard can handle it. Oh, the blue and yellow. That is radius. Is that radius 3? Or is that radius 4? I think it's radius 4. Because it's 55433. It's radius 3. Now, what does that mean? Let's go here. So, if you look on the upper left, radius 3 or 2433, the radius is 515 millimeters, which makes it about 21 inches. I'm doing quick math, so don't get your calculators out and say it's 20.3. It's about 21 inches. Yeah, see, I listen to you guys on the with the American trains and even the UK trains, but even the UK guys will talk about radius 1, radius 2, radius 3. But America is very much 15-inch radius, 18-inch radius, 21, 24. And I go, okay. How does that relate to the Märklin algorithm? Well, hello, Mark the Vicar. Welcome in. No, Rick, you're not. Again, the cool thing about my I've got a lot of European guys that know the Märklin and European train. So you'll see Mahano, Märklin, Pico, Rocco, stuff like that. Then the UK guys are going to be mostly Hornby, Bachmann, Daypole, maybe Helgen or Helgen if you pronounce it correctly. And then the Americans are going to be Athearn, MTH, and Bachmann, and all the other ones. And yes, there are many companies I haven't mentioned, like Rapido and Acura Scale, and all those others. Yes, EFO, they're definitely that way. And Lima, I get, and like I was saying a little bit ago, every company has its lovers and detractors. There are people that are diehard Hornby, and other people just absolutely hate Hornby. The only negative I will say about Hornby is yes, their lower end models are a little more expensive than they should be for what you're getting. But the big thing with Hornby, of course, is they just had a massive price jack without necessarily seeing a massive uptick in quality. In fact, some people are saying there's been a downtick in quality. Now, all I know is Hornby moved factories in China. Hornby has been in the process. Their previous factory was having all kinds of quality control issues and blah, blah, blah. And they had a new factory built, and whether they're constructing at that, and of course, even if it's a new factory, it's going to take a while to get everything. But yes, they jacked up their prices where it's almost competitive. Well, I shouldn't say competitive, where it's comparable in price to some of the European models, but you are not. I mean, and I don't want to start a World War III, but the UK, the mainline UK models, Bachmann and Hornby, in terms of quality, are not up to snuff with Rocco, Brava, Märklin, Trix, the German and Austrian companies. Now, granted, I have a very limited view, but just what I see, even when I watch somebody like Sam's Trains or somebody like that who, use the trains, I'm like, you paid that much, and it's DCC ready. Mine is DCC fitted. Okay, it's MFX fitted EFO, I know, but DCC was sort of like the generic term for digital command control, ready for a decoder. Mine has the decoder, 24 to 36 functions, and ready to go. But, Bachmann, I don't see, as an outsider, I don't see a huge qualitative and design difference between Bachmann and Hornby. Hornby releases some models that are just gorgeous out of the box. So does Bachmann. Hornby releases some really cheap, plasticky looking ones. Bachmann does. But what you get for 200 pounds, what you get for 150 pounds, 160 pounds, 200 pounds, now some of them are 239, 240 pounds, you get better for that same amount of money from the German companies I buy from. And I can't even remotely speak for the American companies. Now, hey, Dino, what is the average I do pay? My locomotives, the most I've ever paid for a locomotive is it right here? No, it's back over there now. The most I've ever paid for a locomotive, actually Joyce paid, was $420. That's the most I've paid. So that would be right now about 390 euros. Now that's what I paid. The steamer locomotive I'm running right now by itself would cost about $550, about 520 euros. But I got it as part of a kit that retails for $1,200, $1,300, but I paid $300 for the entire kit. Never used, never opened. The guy bought it, put it on a shelf, passed away, and his son was clearing out his dad's collection and didn't care what he got for it. He didn't even want to bother looking up the prices. He just put, well, this looks like a $300 kit. And nobody else bid on it. I can't believe nobody else bid on it. It's a $1,300 kit. It came out in 2017. And I bought it last year Christmas and paid $300 for it. Never run. All right, Randall, take care. And yeah, and Chris, I don't know if you would agree or disagree. When it comes to buying a loco, it's a combination of, is it worth the price and how much do I want that loco? Because I did that a couple of times. Now, in some cases, I paid less. Like, oh, there's a Pico Class 101. It's only $95. And I'll pay an extra $30 and get it made digital. Because my friend puts in the decoder, charges me 30, 40 bucks to do that, and bam, okay, I've got a digital locomotive, MFX digital locomotive. And I regret it because it was a Pico piece of crap. The bogies were messed up. I mean, fresh out of the box, it had a lot of plastic parts that were warped. And I wound up getting rid of it. I have seen from like Well Chuffed, they go to, and they film all these different train and toy shows they go to, and I will agree, watching on the TV, there's a lot of beautiful old Lima and Rivarossi coaches for everybody, you know, the German, the American, everybody's market. I haven't got any, but just watching on TV, they're gorgeous. Now, the Europeans, I don't know, Ifo can disagree or not. Jean Ricard's not here yet. Is Fleischmann makes gorgeous coaches. Jägendorfer Collection makes gorgeous coaches. But Fleischmann, most of the guys that I talk to, both Germans and other guys around the world, Fleischmann was always the standard. Like, Märklin, Brava, everybody, Fleischmann was the best. Hey, Tom, the guy I do business with is, he's Andrew Chevalier, like French for a knight, from AC Euro Trains. If you know AC Euro Trains, he does this. Now, he's had a lot of things happen, and I haven't sent him as much work because I felt like I was overloading him. But he's still working on one project for me, but it was going to be a very difficult project to do. And he had to order some parts and wait for those parts to come in. Yeah, I like the looks of Brava, but I've never owned Brava. The one I'm disappointed with are my ESU coaches, because they looked really nice, but boy, you look at them funny and something falls off. Plus, they uncouple very easily, even after changing out the wheel sets to Märklin wheel sets. They don't like being pushed at all. I changed out the couplers. The ESU couplers were crap. They were basically some equivalent of Telex, but they were all plastic couplers and just... no. That's the guy. That's him. AC Euro Trains. He's done all my conversions. Contact him, and he'll tell you, don't go through his website. Contact him directly, like on Facebook, either Andrew Chevalier or AC Euros. He says don't even buy stuff from him on eBay. He does sell some stuff on eBay. He will sell it to you cheaper through Facebook. But yeah, just contact him, and you can tell him Anthony Dodge mentioned him, and then he can tell you if he's up to doing it or not. Because he is one guy who runs his own little bit. Gleichstrom to Wechselstrom, yep. But, you know, everybody's got their coaches. And the thing is, when I got into trains, I went to all the forums, the European forums, mostly German, and just got views like Mahano. For a long time, all I heard was negative about Mahano. But then I found a group of people that are like, yeah, a lot of Mahano is bad. But there are certain things Mahano makes that are like really, really good quality stuff. And then you kind of get your eyes open. Like, I've never owned a Mahano, and for 3 years I would have been scared to try to buy a Mahano. But now, if they made something I really wanted, I might give them a try if they made it in AC, because I've had enough people I've run into it says it just depends on what you're buying. Mahano can be really garbage, but they also make a lot of good stuff. But to me, Roco and Märklin are my two go-to companies. I use the Märklin system, so yes, I am biased to Märklin. And I have plenty of older German colleagues that say, like, I refuse to buy anything from Märklin after 1980. And I did not collect trains or work in trains before 2015. But there are not many people, not many German train guys I know that say, oh, Märklin was good through the 80s and 90s. No, pretty much to a T, they all talk about how the quality went way down. The big debate is, some say Märklin still sucks. And then there are the people that says, no, they are back to making quality stuff. It's no longer the Märklin family, but they are back making quality stuff. Hello? I should be home alone, but I'm hearing sounds. And all I know is that, yes, I've had my Lemon, my IC4. My IC4 does have apparently a bad motor. And that goes hand in hand with how often they delayed it because they kept fixing things. But my IC3 runs beautifully. All my other Märklin locomotives run beautifully. I'm thrilled with them. But okay, and EFO, that's kind of what I was hearing. That's kind of what I was hearing. EFO is the stuff they put in the kiddie starter packs, crap, but then their mainline stuff where you buy it individually, the locomotives and that, pretty good quality. So Raymond is oh, everybody's on strike. Deservedly so. But like Pico, I will definitely not buy Pico Hobby line anymore. In fact, I think Pico used to have 3 lines. There was hobby, expert, and collector. Hobby, expert, and collector. And now they've eliminated one of those. Is it just hobby and expert or hobby and collector? They eliminated either. They eliminated one of those, but they definitely have their cheap line of stuff. You know, where $90 and you get a locomotive with basic functions. But if I buy Pico, I'm going to pay the higher price for the expert or collector level because I just don't trust their lower level. I've had 2 or 3 of them and they've kind of failed in the end. So Ray, your stuff is $79.80. Yeah, yeah. Märklin, the company I follow, was a family-owned company until the late 90s. I might get the exact dates off, maybe early 2000s. But they went into bankruptcy. And a lot of the Märklin collectors I know talk about the quality started going downhill in the 80s. Like early 80s, the quality started going downhill. And the company filed for bankruptcy and then kind of and while they were revamping themselves, they bought Trix and LGB to break into those markets, the G-scale market. I mean, they made their own, but they just bought Trix, and now Trix, now, not always, but since Märklin bought them, Trix is basically the 2-rail version of Märklin's 3-rail. Wechselstrom, Gleichstrom, AC, DC. Trix is just the DC version of Märklin's AC. And then LGB is the G-scale stuff. But for whatever reason, the family couldn't do it. There was financial problems within the family, and the family sold. And then the company that bought it really went low budget, cut to the teeth. And then the Simba Dickey Group bought it. A massive, almost $1 trillion company, Simba Dickey, bought it. And they put a young guy named Florian Schaefer, whose dad is one of the big CEOs of Simba Dickey. And his son, Florian Schaefer, was put in charge of Märklin. And he turned Märklin around. Within 5 years, he had Märklin making a profit, the first profits it had seen in 20 years. And the quality, according to most people, has come way back up. And he gave them a long range. Now, the sad thing is Florian Schaefer no longer is in charge of Märklin because his father passed away, and he's taken over his father's position on the board of Simba Dickey, and somebody else is now in charge of Märklin. But it's still part of this team of people that came in and revamped Märklin. And so I've seen some of the stuff Märklin put out in the 90s, and yeah, quality maybe not as good. The stuff they're putting out now is brilliant. Sorry, answering a text here. Yeah, that's interesting because Arnold, most people I know still love their Arnold. Most people I know, Arnold only ranks second to Kato in N-scale production. But, yeah, again, everybody's going to have theirs, like what Hornby did. It's very, very... Oh. Sorry, guys. I missed it if anybody pointed out, but the mallard is being goofy. It wasn't even open. Why did you follow it? Yeah. Yeah, I'm just done with the Mallard. This Bachman Easy Track has proven to be, it's a combination. The Mallard and the Bachman Easy Track are starting not to like each other, and it's just, forget it. I'm not going to go try to set it all back up now. But, so whatever you go to, you're going to find people, and I'm not, I don't think I've ever tried to present myself as any kind of a pro. If you go back to my Miracle Outsider series, I say, this is only what I have been told by other people that seem to have much more knowledge in the model companies than I do. And yes, I definitely get things wrong, and that's why I like it when somebody corrects me, because I don't want to be accused of telling somebody something and it was the exact opposite. So if EFO says, hey, wait, that's not accurate. And sometimes it's just a difference of opinion. Well, one person sees it one way, one person sees it another. But I don't have the history. I only know what I've been buying the last few years. I only know what I've read and picked up from the forums. And so you get a myriad of opinions. That's why when somebody's looking for help, it's a double-edged sword, because people always say, Google it, Google it. The problem is there's 10 million answers on Google. There's 10 million answers on YouTube. And they all deal with the same thing, but they come from different points of view. And sometimes it's better to get slightly misguided information. It's like when I was talking AC and DC. If you go to the 2 episodes, I did one for Miracle Outsider and one for Model Train Outsider, where I talk about AC and DC power. The electricians and the electrical engineers and the IT guys were having a 3-way war over AC versus DC. And you'll even get people that will argue, well, Miracle's not technically AC. Well, yeah, it technically is AC. There's a lot of DC things with the Miracle system in some arrangement, but it's still AC. It's still 3-rail. It's this. And people say, and again, it's because electricians and electrical engineers deal at different angles of the world. And it's like architects and engineers fighting. Depending on where you're coming from, you see things a little different. Even if electricity is the same, electrical engineers understand it one way, electricians come at it from a different way. Yeah, electrical trend. Yeah, I don't think there's a T in there. Yeah, electrical trend. Yeah, Hornby owns a lot. Yeah, and Mini Tricks is Miracle N scale. Of course, it did not used to be. Yep, the Mallard quacked. The Mallard quacked up. It's having problems with this little turnout I have all of a sudden. It just runs fine, so it'll do 100, 200 loops, and all of a sudden, oh wait, I want to turn here. Or one of the cars just uncouples. And those stupid hook D-ring couplers, the big Ds, it's so simple, and yet they uncouple worse than anything. I don't get it. But see, there's the other issue. It's like, who's on Facebook and who isn't on Facebook, and I'm only on Facebook and YouTube. I'm not on Twitter. I'm not on any other social media, YouTube and Facebook. And so trying to connect with people, like, well, I'm not on Facebook. How do I get in touch with you? Well, here's my email. But even on YouTube, if you are not, you can join YouTube or you can create a channel. If you create a channel, then you have access to all the stuff on YouTube. If you just log in through Google without creating a YouTube account, even though they use your Google account to create your YouTube account, it's like I tell people my email is on my my email is on my YouTube page. If people go there, well, I can't get it to open because you don't have an official YouTube account. Because trust me, plenty of people get my email. Because it's weird. I don't get nearly as much, hey, I saw your channel and got your email and wanted to contact you. It's, I just saw that video you put up, you son of a bitch, and how dare you. I'm like, okay. Hey, Terry Ellen was here and is now saying bye. Oh, Argentina is in extra time. Yeah, it has to be on the computer too. Fratelli. That's a company I'm hearing more and more about. But yeah, River Rossi is a company that I hear, it's like if you got it before Hornby bought it, really good stuff. Since Hornby bought it. But there's still some really... and I don't go to River Rossi and look at everything they made. Basically, I just... When either Renaud's or Model Bond Shop Lipa gets River Rossi stuff in, I look and see what they got. But I don't follow River Rossi itself and go out. Because I know River Rossi makes a lot more stuff than my shops carry. And maybe I should expand my horizons. But usually between the big four for me, Miraklin, Pico, Rocco, Brava, I can usually find within a year or so what I'm after. I'm not being nice or mean to Hornby. I'm telling you right now, Plastic Man has the ingredients to a ham sandwich in his suitcase. And our little jokes back and forth about Plastic Man have been a light through my week here, Mark. Your little short videos and all my little commentaries and your replies and my replies to your replies. That's been some of the more fun stuff. Oh, Kleinbahn and Klein Modelbahn went out. Okay, they're underground now. Well, at the risk of sounding arrogant, they made me laugh, too. My comments make me laugh. Sometimes I think I'm funny. I make Joyce laugh, but then I get dressed. All right, Steven, thanks for popping in and hanging out with us for a bit. I'm not surprised with Hog, Raymond, because Hog has a definitive following of people that will pay the money. The only negatives I have ever heard about Hog, the only negatives is they're expensive. I have not heard people say they're crap. I have just heard people say they're really good, but they're really, really expensive. I think the biggest criticism is similar to like my criticisms of Brava. Hog puts a lot of fine, expensive detail in places that makes you scared to pick it up. Lemke's another one. Who owns Lemke now? Does Hornby? No, Hornby. Does Hornby own Lemke too? No, Kato owns Lemke. All right, Dino. Thanks for hanging out with us. But yeah, I will never pass myself off as an expert on anything model train related. I consider myself to be an expert in many things. Language studies. I think expert is a misused term a lot of times, but I consider myself quite knowledgeable in history, language, English literature to a degree, sentence diagramming, just all elements of linguistics and philology. That's interesting, EFO. They're more of a distributor than a producer. I thought they made some stuff. But, yeah, I mean, I just see Lemke and then Kato Lemke. So maybe Lemke just brings Kato stuff over. I don't know. But, I mean, here in the United States, you can get Kato straight. You don't need Lemke. You don't see Lemke here in the United States, but I see Lemke in Europe. ADEs. See, and I don't even really know ADE. But again, this is not anything I dedicated my life to, or I've spent my life doing this. Even as a hobby, I don't spend more than, if you take the live stream, the only other times I'm in the basement right now is when Kyan's here and wants to see the trains run. I haven't been working on things down here because I've been dealing with other things and working on other things. But I love my trains, but model trains, if they are a passion, they are not my greatest passion. I always love them. I lose my mojo at building, but I don't lose my mojo at just sitting back and let my trains run. And as Joyce will tell you, if I like something, I always like it. I don't go through, there are movies that I have watched 1,000 times, literally 1,000 times, because I enjoy the movie. And I still get the same positive vibes from the movie. And the same is true with trains. But I'm passionate about many things, and my interests go. I've been playing a lot of medieval computer games right now. Battle games, because I do that to get my mind focused on stuff or off of stuff. I indulge myself in those games, and then I'm doing a lot of writing for the Matt Clarke stuff. I had hoped to work on the Feller Car system. I bought some stuff, I got ready to go, and then all that outside stuff happened, and it just took away that drive to do it. I'm hoping around Christmas, after Christmas here, when I'm not dealing with a lot of other stuff. Joyce is home, and I'm not dealing with a lot of other things because I'm still adjusting. I have taken over the cooking duties in the house. I'm now the cook. I told Joyce when I retired I would take, the last few years Joyce has really hated coming home from work and having to cook, and so I said, all right, I'll take over. So now I've got the free time, so I'm cleaning the house, I do the cooking, and I'm having to learn to cook some things. There's stuff Joyce makes that I'm not even a fan of, and now I'm cooking it. Well, there's that. I've been there a couple of times. Now, obviously, Ray, I haven't rebuilt a layout as often as you have. This is generation 3 of just this table, and I'm not planning on taking it down, although I did gut out a section a few months ago and replace a bunch of track. But I did that in a day. 6-hour day. Just take out all the crappy track and the turnouts, the switches that were giving me problems, and replaced them all. Hey, Split Rock. Hey, Clive. Welcome in. Yeah, and Mick and Peter, I think that is true of a lot of people. I think a lot of guys start with trains through whatever family thing, father, grandfather, whatever. They get into it themselves, but then puberty hits. Girls, cars or bikes, or maybe I shouldn't say girls and be that stereotypical. sex, puberty kicks in, and bada bing, bada boom, bada bow. Other things, dating, job, life, education, they take over, and either your time with the hobby becomes severely reduced or it completely gets locked away and it's gone for 10, 15, 20 years. Your two stories, Mick and Peter, are very common, if not the majority, that there's this anywhere from a 10 to 30 year gap. My story, I think, is the odd one, where I had never done model trains, never thought about model trains. I had one set my dad bought me and I never played with it. 1969, it was probably in the garbage by 71. I had no real exposure to model trains, no connection to the model train world, or really the train world, although my Uncle Herb worked somewhere in the train industry, with CSX or Conrail or something like that. I don't know. And he had a layout, but I only saw it a couple of times. I didn't see my Uncle Herb a lot. And he was a nice guy, really nice guy. Very quiet, very shy guy, but very nice. I think it was my Aunt Lova's third husband, and the one she held on to for until he died, and then she died. But he was a nice guy. But me being 50, what was I, 53? No. 2015, 52. I was 52, 51, 52 when I got into the model train hobby. And it was more just trying to recreate my trips to Germany, and I fell in love with riding trains in Germany. I loved to ride trains. The UK was the same thing. I loved riding the trains. It was a little more stressful in the UK because of all the industrial action days, the strike days, but Joyce and I managed to survive. But we enjoy traveling by train. It beats driving. And I wanted to recreate that, and then the bug bit. But so I think somebody being in their late 50s and just jumping into the ocean, the lake, whatever you want to call it, for the first time, I think that's more obscure. 45 years. Yeah, and Split Rock, my hobbies and interests were not interrupted. I worked, so I didn't have time for hobbies. Joyce became my hobby when I met her. I wound up not playing sports in high school because I just worked. I had a job, I had to make money. So I did, my bowling was my one active thing that I kept going for years. I bowled. I started bowling when I was 8, and I kept bowling until I was in my early 40s. I don't remember the last bowling league I was in, but it's been close to 20 years. So maybe my mid-late 30s was my last bowling league. I started having shoulder problems and couldn't throw the ball. And so yeah, it was working school, working college. After I left West Point and forfeited all my scholarships, it was working college. Joyce and I both worked and paid our way through school. After I left West Point, I had one partial scholarship to rinky-dink university, and I spent one semester there. No, 2 semesters there. No, 2 quarters, because they were on a quarter system. 2 quarters there, and just said, forget it. And I moved back home, lived in my parents' basement again, little closet of a bedroom that my brother and I shared, and I worked and paid my way through college. And by the time I graduated, I had met Joyce. I graduated in March. Joyce and I accepted my first job. Joyce and I got married in June, 3 months after I graduated. And then I got shipped to Columbus for a couple of months of training because I was teaching in the state prison system. So I had to go through prison training. I had to study prison psychology, self-defense, law, blah, 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 and all this stuff. So we had training. And then I went to, I started teaching. In fact, the first 3 months Joyce and I were married, we only saw each other on the weekends. And then I got stationed in Cleveland, teaching at a prison in Cleveland. And I did that for a year and decided the pay was just so crap. I moved back to Toledo. Joyce and I moved back to Toledo. And Joyce found out she was pregnant. And Joyce hadn't graduated school yet because she tried to transfer to Kent State University. And Joyce just decided to take time off and work. She had 3 years done. You know, I should have waited a year before we got married. I would have been a year into my job and she would have been graduated and could have started working. But instead, she wound up taking almost 2-3 years before she finished college. She took two or three additional years before she finished college. And we buried ourselves in debt moving like we did. And one person on a public school income, which was not good. And then she finally, she worked in the evenings and went to school during the day. Yeah, it wasn't until my kids grew up and moved out before I got into trains. All right, Ray, have a good night. Don't hate on Cleveland. Cleveland has so fixed itself up and revitalized itself, Raymond. It's got so many nice places. The only thing I hate about Cleveland is the infrastructure highway. There are just so many highways crisscrossing, and they just build new on-ramps and exits, and it's just chaos. And sometimes you're coming on here, and you've got half a mile across 6 lanes of traffic at rush hour. But no, some of our early happy days, Joyce and I were in Cleveland, and then we still go to Cleveland for various things. It's amazing how Cleveland revamped itself. But like any big urban city, it's got its poverty areas. But, so it was, my passion became sports. Once I was working, I started joining all the men's basketball leagues, baseball leagues, softball leagues. Joyce and I did co-ed volleyball and co-ed bowling and co-ed softball, and I bowled. But yeah, most people have that big gap where life gets in the way of the hobby and you just don't have space. And I've had my other passions. I was a huge war gamer. Big time tabletop war gamer. I had my collection for years. I sold most of it off, but I still have some over here. In fact, I don't know if I did this already, but I'll show you a couple of things real quick. Since I'm not using this camera right now. Yeah, you can see I missed it. That's the one problem with this. But I'm going to go to this camera here. And I'll move my microphone over. Okay, so here are some of my tabletop war games still. This is the old board, but you can see here I've still got a lot of my board war games. There's more over here. I don't have a lot of slack. But that's all I have left of my wargaming collection. At one time I probably had 60 or 70 war games, but that's all I have left. Yeah, quite a few World War II games. By the time I got into really heavy into medieval war games, I started playing tabletop. Oh, show them again? I know that was just a quick tour. And then over on the far side, but I don't really have a camera. I could show it. But I still have some of my medieval and then my Lord of the Rings tabletop war game stuff, the Games Workshop stuff, the Warhammer-like stuff. It's by the same, well, actually, it's not all Games Workshop. A lot of it is Harlequin, Iron Crown Enterprises, what was the other company? Mithril Miniatures. A lot of military guys into model trains too. But yeah, my dad, when I considered joining the Army, my dad who fought in Korea and lost an eye in Korea, he was not fond of his son going in the military. Until I got selected to go to West Point. Then he was all in favor of it. All right, Kieran, take care. Thanks for hopping in and staying with us. Have a great evening and a great weekend. That's where and how do I show it? This is probably one of the things I regret the most. Is I used to make dioramas, military dioramas, HO scale. I had thousands of Airfix HO scale soldiers that I painted, and I built military dioramas, World War I, World War II. And then because, especially when I was younger, money was hard to come by, I used to just go out and just find the right sticks, the right leaves, crumble them up to make terrain. I used real mud and glue because, hobby stores, scenery products were expensive and I didn't have a lot of money. But I made some really fine World War I dioramas, World War II dioramas. I made tabletop war game scenery, but I never took pictures of it. I never thought, oh, this is really cool. I should post this on social media. I was the only person doing this. I wasn't even a member of a club. My kids would play games, or I would just play against myself. Or I would just build a diorama, and nobody cared. So it wasn't like, oh, I should take a picture of this because someday they'll invent Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and Snapchat, and I can post all these pictures. Heck, there aren't a lot of pictures of me, period. I didn't even take a lot of pictures of my kids growing up. We've got a bunch from vacations, but just day-to-day life, we didn't. All right, hi, thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. Hey, George, how are you? Oh, I always won when I played myself. So my scenic abilities, which I have not displayed, and probably won't display very well because I've deteriorated so badly the last 5-10 years. nobody will see except Joyce and maybe my kids. Like, I built a giant Moria playset battlefield for our Lord of the Rings war figures. I mean, you guys watch the trains. Let me try to bring something. Ah, you stupid train. Stay on the track. Put that down here. I'll fix that. Where is it? Come on, where is he? Okay, now I just gotta remember where to put these all back. Here, I'm gonna stop the trains just for a second. Bear with me and go to the big screen. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a short history of some of my artistic talents and hobby, since I don't have pictures. Okay. These are a couple of figures that are probably 35 years old. This is 25 millimeter figures. They are from Lord of the Rings, because I am a Lord of the Rings. These were made by Mithril Mail. That was a company. I think they might still be around, but I don't know. Anyhow, this was when I started, okay? Let's go with this guy, Gandalf. Now, focus. Are you going to focus? Oh, man. But it's good. But there's not a lot of detail, okay? Especially the face. I really wish I could get this to zoom in on the face. But I just don't think it's going to do it well. I don't know, would the DB cam work better? Because that's a clearer picture. Let me see if this guy would work better. Nope. Okay, so it's all about the same. Oh well. Okay, so let's go back to where I was. So that guy, here is another example. I really didn't work on faces. I worked on detail of uniforms and that. This is a soldier of the White Tower. Again, it's kind of hard to see the detail. I worked a little bit on shading, but that wasn't a technique I'd really come across. And then some people talked about using ink washes and that. So eventually, I started experimenting with it. So here's a couple of guys where my first attempts at like really trying to get more detail in the faces. Let me see if I can put this guy up here. And again, this isn't showing up well. But really trying to work on the detail. This just sucks. I don't think there's any point trying this. But what the hell, I've started. I'll go in there. You know, really trying to bring them and the colors out. And even then, I wasn't into weathering and rusting. I liked the armor. You know, dwarves would have been very, keep their armor neat and clean. Okay, so that was early on. Then I progressed. Then I started working on, so here's another Gandalf. And you can see I started working on ink washes. And there's much more expression in the face. There's definition between the fingers. There's shadowing and shading into all the crevices. You know, I learned to start using ink washes. I got shown how to do that. Here's one of my pride and joy Gandalfs. Although I was supposed to give this to Tim Wells, and I never mailed it off. And then here's a couple where, you know, I really try to experiment and get facial expressions going. I don't know how well you can see the shadows in the eyes there. This is a little Bilbo Baggins. Again, really trying to bring out facial definition and everything else. Really trying to bring that out. And then this was the last guy I painted about 10 years ago. And you can see I went pretty much back to where I started. Because I can't hold a brush. I can't hold a brush very long, and especially the micro hair brushes that I would use, where I would have literally like one hair or two hairs on the brush to do micro detailing. I can't hold that steady. If I tried to do eyeballs now in a figure, they would just be stripped. Because to hold it, I literally have to be able to go in, poink, and come out. Because these hands are just so... It's ridiculous, and I hate to talk about that because I know my buddy Mark here, who is building remarkable stuff and doesn't even have fingers, which puts me to shame. So, you know, until I can find a way to do it. But I've got some guys I want to paint, and as soon as I get done with this Matt Clarke stuff, because I really want to get that done, I've set myself a deadline, then I'm going to go back and start painting guys. So, but that's sort of the ups and downs of what I did, of how good I got and how I've kind of deteriorated since. So there was a time, and there was a time where I, you know, that's what I worked on, that's what I did. You know, it is what it is, but it's frustrating to try to hold a brush and your hand's just going like this. It's getting harder to do electrical work. I've got a bedroom upstairs I'm supposed to remodel, and I want to get it done sooner rather than later, but I can't because things came up and then money and cost came up. But I want to get it done sooner because even soldering and that kind of stuff is getting harder to do. Well, that's a different discussion. But yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a time where I considered myself to be pretty darn good. I would not say great or best, but really damn good. But I watch people like Digger Evans and his weathering. Digger's here. And of course, Digger is very humble. It's like, oh, I'm not that great. You know, I look at somebody like Kathy Millett, who is so much better than me, and okay. I've watched Kathy Millett, and she is fantastic. When it comes to weathering, I don't think she's a better weatherer than you. Maybe there's something she is better than at, but, you know, you do the weathering and the little fine detailing on your buildings. You look at Tony Northeastern and his scratch building. And then there's Paul at Galgorm Hall that, you know, people have forgotten about, but he's a master scratch builder. And people do things differently, but it's amazing to see them do it. They're all great skills. And I've scratch built buildings, but I used toothpicks and I used popsicle sticks and coffee stirrers and sheets of cardboard. You know, it's... But I never sat down the way like Tony does and measure everything down to the millimeter. I just kind of eyeballed everything and tried to make it work. I'm not putting myself down. It is, I am very comfortable admitting where I have. But yeah, that's one of the hardest things. It's like a professional athlete, okay? I'm not saying I wasn't good. In fact, I think you heard me say I thought I was damn good. I'm not there anymore. It's like a professional athlete who just can't do it anymore. And there comes that day where they realize no matter how great they were, Babe Ruth had to walk away from the game. Lou Gehrig had to walk away from the game. Pele had to walk away from the game. There comes a point where you know, and it doesn't mean you don't go out and play with the family or show up at the old timers events, but there is a point where your skills do deteriorate. Hey, Simo. I mean, kit bashing was always a favorite of mine because you know, the first time I really heard about kit bashing is when they made the first Star Wars movies, and the whole Death Star and the battleships, they just took different models and just glued whatever they could glue on to make it say, hey, that looks cool. The time toilet. Hey, Eric. No, so again, I mean, I'm not, you know, you can be honest with yourself. It frustrates me because I know I was good. There's a lot of things I was good at. But, you know, like I used to have perfect vision. Now I wear glasses. Okay? Glasses solve that problem. I haven't found a solution. And there are things I still consider. I still consider myself.
Oh, shit.
What did you nail? Well, it derailed there. Did you nail the? Okay. I'm not, you know, again, I'm not looking for pity or sympathy or anything like that, and I'm not here contemplating suicide. It just, like I said, there was a time where I could do these things, and I wish I could have started building the layout when those skills were still there. As it is, I do make compromises. Hey, GWR Buckley, how are you? One. There you are. What's that?
Everybody cares about you. That's nice. So, hi Peter. Hi Digger. Hi Bailey. Hi Tom.
But you know, again, those were always
So,
secondary.
hi Vic.
Those were always secondary. My passion is my
Hi,
writing.
Buckley.
That will always be number one, my writing.
Hi Andy.
And I consider myself excellent at it. And even the Matt Clarke stuff, I
That's the
consider
truth.
excellent humor.
Oh,
But
you guys, thank you so much for the support for him. Hi ANC. Hi Mystic. Hi Fantasia. Hi Simo. Hi Crossways. Hi Joseph.
you need that old romper room. Remember, only Americans of an age would remember romper room. It was an old
Yeah, it
little
was.
kids educational show,
Yeah, it
PBS
was.
show,
It was
or
cute.
back in the day. And the teacher always had a mirror of what group of kids would be in her classroom the next week.
Yep.
And I see
So,
Bobby
and
and
hi for everybody else who didn't say hi. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Whew. Yeah, I know. Just tired. Okay, guys, let's get Anthony up to 30 likes if Yins would.
Yins. You've
Yins.
gone Pittsburghese.
Pittsburghese. I used to do that with my students. Yins. Yeah, Robert Room was cute. So, anyway, I could do my Daisy. I gotta work on her.
Yeah. Yeah, I did not write today.
She says, gentlemen and ladies,
What's that?
please hit the like button.
Oh,
for
you're going
Anthony.
Daisy.
I'm doing Daisy right now.
You gotta get the little flirt part of Daisy in
I
there.
gotta get the flirty part out.
You got
Oh.
That little seductress bit of her.
So, hi, March West. Yeah, well, I gotta work on that one.
Honey, you sing it your way and I'll sing it mine.
Honey, you sing it while you're away and I sing it mine.
No, whoa. You just went Annie.
That one, Annie.
That one, Annie. You went scratchy voice.
That's because my voice is scratchy right now. Oh, man. So, my plea didn't get you anything, lady.
You're doing your Kim Carnes right now.
Yeah, my.
Betty Davis eyes. You know.
Yeah. Let's see what it is. I got my big thing on Monday, so working on getting that all set up and
Oh, the review that he
Observation.
keeps skipping out on.
so.
Oh, I have a meeting. I can't make it. I have a meeting. I can't make it.
Well, he is something else. So hi, Artie.
Hey, there's Artie.
Oh, good. My order has arrived. Terrific. Missing half of it. Now I get the other half. They do
You
that
come from a
every
land
year.
down under. Oh, yeah, yeah. The women grow and make thunder.
Oh yeah, we're going out tonight. So. Oh, I'm tired now.
All right, Tom. Thanks for hanging out. Take care. We'll see you on your
I think
post through the week.
Should have sat down. All right, Tom. Take care.
No, it took me longer to do some things.
Oh,
Well, I filmed.
yeah.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
that this morning instead of waiting for tonight.
Yeah. That's fine.
And we're going. Oh, Lynn, who has not come in yet. Kine must be sleeping, or they might be busy
Yeah.
off because they have to go get Chris,
Yeah.
unless Chris took the car to work.
Right.
But Lynn wants to borrow our
Oh
extension
yeah,
ladder.
I was
You
seeing
saw that? Okay.
Oh yeah, ping, 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 ping,
So
ping.
tomorrow when we go, well, you need to turn notifications off your phone when you're at work.
I hear you.
But yeah, I'm trying to keep this monster out here.
So we're gonna take the journey tomorrow.
Yeah, so we're gonna take the journey tomorrow.
Okay, that's fine.
Maybe
We
just
can attach it like Liz drive.
there we go.
So yeah, the baby's party's tomorrow, which makes a lot of sense. It helps his uncle, time his trips up to here from Columbus. You know, which is about a 2.5 hour drive. So he'll come this weekend, and then he'll come in 2 weeks for Christmas, and then it stretches it out for the baby, so he's not getting a week full of presents, which will overwhelm him greatly.
Yeah.
So-
well, yeah, because it's more. I thought
it
just because
spreads it out.
AJ didn't want to come up for the birthday and for
Yeah,
Christmas and
right. Yeah, a week apart. Yeah, so it's
So
better.
yeah, even though it's 10 days early, we're celebrating his birthday tomorrow. We're celebrating Kyan's birthday tomorrow. Well, kind of celebrating it tomorrow.
He's 2-year-old, so I'm not sure if Liddy's going to hold off on candles and stuff, but do it on his actual birthday.
I'm not going to get involved in that conversation.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm talking something else.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, it's all right.
Timber Surf
Yeah, it's
very
okay.
occasionally comes here.
Yeah, it's all right. Oh, yeah. He's pretty much already in the terrible twos. They do. With our kids, it always seemed to be at the half-year mark where they were really, really terrible. So when they actually hit their birthdays, they were kind of calmed down.
But so anyhow, that just to finish a thought I got way off
Okay.
of on what they
Oh, sorry.
is
Pick this up.
that's the thing. Like with Kyan, Kyan is going to be into trains in these younger ages, but then there's going to come a point where he's not. And I don't know if I'll be around when he gets back into trains. But at least he'll always have Grandpa's trains here that
Yeah.
when he comes to visit to try to keep the interest
All
alive.
right, see ya, Ifo.
Efo's got to go. All right,
Efo,
take care.
God, I
Yeah,
always
it's
got that
it's
line.
11:30 there.
It's late. Yeah, we understand. So take care, Efo.
What time are we going to Lynn's tomorrow? Is it
Oh,
evening?
no, it's a morning. It's 10 to 2.
His party in the morning?
Yeah, it's 10
Okay.
to 2.
So yeah, I should be there.
Yeah, so he'll be back, Artie, in time.
I'll
It's
be there,
only till
Artie.
2 o'clock in the afternoon. He'll be home before yours, which is at 8 on our time. In the evening. All right, somebody get Anthony to that 30, please. I got it. Yeah.
Definitely got to bring them all back.
Yeah, we gotta bring them all back. We'll do the voices soon.
It's easy for me to get to some.
Yeah.
I mean, Smokey's easy, Donna Lott's easy. Donna's just my queen's voice. Oh, peasants, look at the peasants.
Right. Yeah.
Hello, peasants.
Travis said to hit the like button, folks.
Uh,
I'm getting ignored.
Matt-
I can do that at
Matt
school.
Clarke is easy to get to. The problem is Silas. If I'm not careful, Silas
Right.
can blend into Matt.
It can, yeah. I have not taken
Because Silas
it.
is based in Foghorn Leghorn, and Matt is based on Elvis. So to get to Matt, I just go, thank you very much. Now, Smokey, this is what I've been telling you, son.
Right.
And then Silas is, I got to do the Kentucky
it's the
accent, which takes
Kentucky.
me a while to get into the
Right.
Kentucky accent. Now, looky here, boy. Get on with it then.
You make your breakfast.
Sheriff, what kind of a coward are you, Sheriff?
How soft is sweater?
Yeah, nice and soft. Can I try? No.
No, behave.
Those soft, fuzzy
Oh.
sweaters, too magical to touch. To see her in that negligee was really too much. My blood runs cold. My memory has just been sold. Angel is the centerfold. Angel is the centerfold.
Barat is your favorite accent?
Barat
Barat.
is his favorite accent.
Gotcha.
Barat.
Yeah, all right. Foghorn Leghorn.
And Smokey's easy to go to.
Yeah.
It's actually just a variation of the naggy wife voice.
Yes, it most certainly is.
Yes, you know that too well.
Yuppers.
Ah, shucks.
Are they putting the Christmas tree up at Donna Lott's place? Of course they are.
So what?
Split Rock asked if they're putting the Christmas tree up in Donna Lott's place.
Oh,
said,
they
"Of
did.
course they
Yeah, we
are."
talked about that last year. The ornaments are what you're really interested.
That's
Yeah, if
right.
you go back, Split Rock, if you go back and watch the Christmas
sorry.
episode last year, there's a great joke. They were talking about putting up the Christmas tree, and Trudy owns the place, and Donna Lott manages it.
Right.
Abel and Trudy, Smokey's parents, own the Itchy Crotch, and then Donna is the business manager. But they're talking about, in last year's Christmas episode, they talk about putting the tree up, and Trudy and Donna go, oh, there's just something wonderful about something big, wooden, and erect at the Itchy Crotch.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I am almost done.
Thank yous kindly.
Did we get to, oh, we got to 30.
Finally got the 30. Man, that was hard.
Oh, right, the AMS system. Yep, I remember those. But, yeah, so I've got to finish that, and then I got to film it. I got 2 weeks to film it, edit it, and get it ready for the live stream in 2 weeks. I should be able to do it. Won't be that hard. The thing is, last year's Christmas special was perfect. It was and 3.
Bad 3.
Joy sneezes in 3s.
I usually do. Until one day I sneezed 4 times in the morning. It was one sneeze too much.
But I've got to get some of these voices I haven't done since I finished
Last year,
making
yeah.
Matt Clarke. Well, May. It's been a few months.
Yeah.
Some of the voices I do all the time anyhow.
I know.
But you turn your back on the camera, but you're still in this one.
Well, I'm fine, that's all.
Sorry, dear. Blow your nose. It's that time of season we all find so sneezing. Joyce has a cold time of year. And Peter is taking off. Take care, because he's getting up at 5 a.m. Been up since 5 a.m.
Oh, well, yeah, you should be tired. Fair enough. Have you forgiven Peter, though?
What?
Have you forgiven Peter?
Peter?
Peter Jackson.
Oh, different Peter Jackson. No, I have not forgiven Peter Jackson.
Sorry, Peter.
Different
I couldn't
Peter
resist.
Jackson. The New Zealand Peter Jackson.
Right. Is he from New Zealand?
Yes.
I knew he filmed in there, but I didn't know he was really there.
All right, Mark, take care. Go to sleep.
Night,
Wow,
Mark.
everybody's jumping out.
That's all right.
And yeah,
It's
if you'll
5:30.
notice, my numbers went back below.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
Man. You gotta find Anthony some more subscribers.
Actually, Simo, most of them.
Most of them?
In fact, the original rule was that I had to have
Right.
ridden on the train to buy a model of it. That was Joyce's rule.
Yep,
And then she broke it.
I did. But then the bigger thing is, we just keep riding more trains because I make them go different places. It's not working out for me.
The only one I have not taken a trip on is the Railjet. I've been on a Railjet, I just didn't go anywhere. I just hopped on while it was parked.
Tickets for the Railjet.
We had tickets for the Railjet, but the
And
trip got
this
canceled.
Showstopper got us.
Well, yes, I've been on the IC. Now, the
So,
best one,
We'll do it again this year.
the best one is, where is it? Where's the IC2? He's coming behind me. This guy. Quick, get to it. Oh, I'm going to miss it. Damn it. All right, let's go to 11 lane view.
I was gonna say, another one you can turn on.
Yeah, the one coming towards you right now, the white one here. Not only have I been on the live version of that, I've been on that train. The running numbers are the one Joyce and I rode.
Yep. You can say that about a few of them, I think.
Yeah, my Railjet is the same locomotive and cars that I saw in Munich.
Sure that.
But then the IC2, the white double-decker, the locomotive and the car numbers are identical to the one Joyce and I rode from Delmenhorst to Leipzig, because we did not take, we had to change, and then we rode a different one from Leipzig to Dresden.
Right. Yep.
So it's the exact train we rode on. Well, okay, we didn't shrink HO, but you know what I mean. So we've been on examples of all of these, except in terms of taking a trip, the Railjet, and of course the little steamer with the 100-year-old wagons over there. But yeah, we have been on. That's why I tried to buy a LNER Azuma, and Joyce wouldn't let me.
Oh, and then there's those things.
What are those things? Well, I was saying those cars.
Yeah.
The 100-year-old wagons we have been.
Right.
But all the main trains running I have been on.
Yeah, he's got. Thank you. That's what I was trying to come up with. Yeah, he's got a steam loco in the small lane.
Yeah, the Railjet, the IC3.
I said that was peer
the
pressure.
IC2, the Metronome, the
Last Christmas, he bought him, himself a couple.
yeah, the only ones I haven't been
Peer
on are the
pressure.
steamers.
Yep. Oh, sorry, Artie. Didn't mean to send the sneezes to you.
Wow, that was pretty good. They went around the world quick.
Yeah, they did go.
You
pretty
got some
far
light
around the
speed
world.
sneezes, dear.
I guess so. Go sneezes. Woo!
But yeah, you got to find your voices, and you've got a
Okay,
couple of
well.
new ones you have to do. But you could just go back to others, like do Annie for one.
He could just use it.
Or just your hippie girl voices from Series 2.
Oh, I didn't like my.
But Lil,
I didn't like my.
Lil, May, and Daisy.
Daisy.
Lil
The
May
first
and
scene I
Daisy.
dig.
I think that's it of the main characters. And then there's going to be a female henchman
Yeah.
to the Krampus.
Right.
So you can do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be. Oh, and then there are two. There's two female school friends of Smokey.
Gotcha.
Can't
Right.
give that away.
Right.
So you got to do kind
Men's
of
better tune in.
little girl voices. All right, John, thanks for popping
There you
in.
go.
But I'm trying to think.
That's
like
kind.
Joey Bill is easy because he's just the carnival barker voice.
Right.
Right here, ladies and gentlemen, right now. You know that Joey Bill is easy to get to. I really may not have the Donners. I was debating. So far I've not written the Donners in, but there might be a scene at the
Gotcha.
end with the Donners. But I don't know if Mr. Donner will be there.
Oh, you got
No.
another.
Will the snows never end?
Hi, Melvin Junction.
Hey, Malvern Junction, welcome in.
Got a movie.
Yeah, I was just, he's somebody I joined with in the last couple of weeks and gave him a shout out earlier.
Nice.
Hey, Malvern, if you want to advertise your channel here, you are now, I now declare you a knight of the Rhomboid Table. You are now a knight of the Rhomboid Table, and you can post your channel's link here and see if anybody still here can subscribe, because people are starting to exit. We usually go till about 6. I may cut it a little short because we have to do some Christmas shopping, old-fashioned
No, we don't.
ways.
We have to do some birthday shopping.
And birthday shopping.
That's a
Really,
bigger
it is
one.
my birthday. What are you getting me?
I got you already.
Oh, all right.
I gotta figure out what I'm actually gonna give you for your birthday.
Oh, that's a horrible problem.
It's a little bit of one.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. But, so... Anyhow, Malvern, if you haven't actually visited the channel before, I run... this is my wife, Joyce. We have been married 35 years,
Yep.
which means I married her when she was about 4. Yeah, my birthday's 10 days from today,
Yeah, it is.
the 19th. But we're going shopping
For the baby.
for for him. But
I shouldn't call him a baby anymore, but he should.
But I run German Central European trains, although I usually have a Mallard running, but he's been acting up on the Bachmann Easy Track down there, so I stopped him today. It was your 10th wedding. It was your 10-year anniversary
I'm not
this
sure
year.
it didn't stop itself.
Oh, it stopped already. It had uncoupled a bunch of cars before you kicked the one car. It was, and it's just being a pain in the butt there.
Huh.
Kyan grabbed it one day, and it hasn't quite been right since.
I don't know. You're gonna have to figure out a way to get him on.
He didn't do anything that I noticed, but he did grab it off the track.
Alright.
But now, I keep trying to center it, and it's Hornby. But, so I'm trying to think, whose voice was I struggling trying to do? The sheriff is easy enough. That's Yosemite Sam, but with a much gruff. Same thing I bought you last year, Artie. I'm re-gifting what you got me last year to you. You know, the sheriff is
Okay, nice, Melvin.
Malvern.
Malvern.
Malvern, not Melvin.
Malvern. Another bird I take.
And the elves are easy enough to get to. Although maybe I shouldn't give away their back, but it's a
Hey,
Christmas
you might
special.
be giving away too much.
I'm just trying to do characters. There was one of the characters I just could not find the voice for.
Nobody that we know. An onyx ashtray.
I grew up in families that gave fruitcake.
Yeah, but you don't anymore.
No, we don't, because we realized it was a stupid thing to do, and all those relatives that did it passed away. Although the fruitcakes are probably alive and well in somebody's refrigerator somewhere. Oh, your Aunt Betty gave us to that Christmas before she died.
Put that correlation together. Giving fruitcake kills you. Because they're all dead.
But no, I grew up where lots of family members gave each other fruitcakes.
That's a little bit mine, not very much. That might be like a neighbor
My Aunt
gift.
Betty, my Grandma Vi always gave fruitcakes.
Like I said, that's a neighbor gift.
Oh no, it was given in the family.
I give my neighbors the nicest gift. They get a loaf of my homemade bread.
In fact, my Aunt Joyce, not you, my Aunt Joyce gave us mini fruitcakes. Little packets. Here you go. Have Merry Christmas.
What was the fruitcakes are on here?
And yes, we have both kinds of fruitcakes here. The ones with nuts and without.
All right. Okay, cool.
Malvern is a town, okay,
Right.
in Worcestershire. Yeah, we know that.
How that works.
Worcestershire or Worcester.
Tom, that probably went without saying.
Indeed.
I always thought I should like them. They look like they could be
That,
good.
that awkward silence was
candy.
brought to you by the Awkward Silence Society, or ASS for short.
Yeah. Okay, your wife's mother's side.
Wasn't there a famous battle at Malvern Hill?
Don't look at me.
I know Baden Hill and Sterling Heights and all that, but wasn't there a famous battle in one of the English Civil Wars, the Battle of Malvern Hill? Now the brain's trying to go through that catalog.
Yes, it is.
It's like those old index cards at old libraries. I think most people here up in an age, you'd remember those. Pulling out
yeah.
going through all the cards.
Oh,
My brain's going,
yeah.
Malvern Hill. Wasn't there a battle at Malvern Hill? Nutty as a fruitcake or fruity as a nut cake? I think those are two totally different things.
I agree. Okay, is that a feat? Just curious. 'Cause
Well,
the
I haven't.
hills can be terribly misleading. Let's go down.
Yeah, Malvern, and you can give us your first name if you want. Yeah, Joyce and I spent a month in the UK, our first trip that wasn't to Germany. After 16 trips to Germany, or whatever it was, we went to the UK. And there were a lot of places we saw, all beautiful, and then there were places we didn't get to. Banana nut cake or banana bread? Now, would you say that Reven or Raven? Or would the V be pronounced a little differently? Hey, Nancy, how are you? Now, granted, now that you mentioned that, Mick, see, we had rum cake, and rum cake was basically fruit cake with lots of rum added. Although I don't think that's what actual rum cake was, but our relatives would bring fruit cake that they used rum in and would say, oh, it's not fruit cake, it's rum cake. There you go. But did you look up Battle of Malvern Hill?
I meant to do that, and I got distracted.
I meant to do that.
I just decided I wanted to see what it looked like.
You got distracted. Battle of Malvern Hill.
I'm kidding you. Okay. Patience! Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just... Battle of Poindexter's Farm.
Oh, it was an American Civil War battle. So there was a Battle of Malvern Hill,
I was to say, that
just
was
in the American Civil War, not the UK one.
Winner. Who won the battle?
Well, it was Lee against McClellan, so I'm guessing Lee.
Union victory.
Really?
It brought an end to the Peninsula Campaign in the 7 Days Battles.
Oh, it was part of the 7 Days Battle. That's really unfair to call it a Union victory. It was just Lee didn't win.
He won. Yeah, it really did.
Because he lost the Peninsula Campaign.
Just that little bit I read sort of felt like it was not only one, but
Like the bird, Raven. That's okay. No, I like to get names right. It's a pet peeve of mine. I like to pronounce names right.
yeah, for sure.
And usually my students are always amazed at how close or spot on I get their names. First name or last names.
Yeah, that's why I always show him my list and ask what he thinks.
Yeah, we got kicked out. That's why everybody was crying and screaming for us to come back. All right, Simo, thanks for stopping by.
Well, we were there long enough. It was time to go. Good night, Simo.
Oh, you are going to hate Germany next year then.
I know, it's a really long trip. Woo.
I'm never ready to come home.
I know.
I miss the kids.
Yeah.
I miss the family.
It's like grandbaby.
I miss our king-size bed. A real king-size bed, unlike what the Brits and the Germans call a king-size bed.
Hi, Nancy. I'm getting there. I say pretty close.
Yeah, we got a tree up
How about
and
you?
gifts up in the bedroom that aren't wrapped, but we're close.
Well, no, to me, buying them is the hard part.
Yeah,
It wasn't
shopping's the hard part.
Wrapping is no big deal.
I disagree, but I hate wrapping.
Oh, he's been so good. He wraps with me every year.
Yeah, a bunch of folks uploaded videos. I tried to watch most of them today, but a couple of my sites dropped like 10 videos today. 10! What are you thinking?
Right. That's a lot.
10! Heck, even Heath dropped 4, but they were all short. And they were cool. But he did 4 mini videos. They were all very cool.
Okay, Nancy.
And Simon,
That's cool.
Simon the Railway Enthusiast does, he usually does groups of 3, like 3 in the morning and 3 in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay, but like the one Beatles page dropped 10 different videos
Wow.
this afternoon after dropping 12 this morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're up
I'm
for
not
the
watching
season.
them all. Sorry.
No, I wouldn't.
But all my train guys I gotta watch.
Anything that's interesting. Yeah, you want to support your friends.
I do North Rap. North Coast Rap.
Yeah,
Ain't nothing but a Toledo thing.
we're near Detroit, for what that's worth.
Detroit, is that
I'm
thick
fading.
crust rap? You're fading? Oh, you're gonna be a lot of fun.
I'll be alright when we move.
Yeah, I saw
Sit
yours,
down.
Malvern. Or Raven, now that I know your name, Raven, and hopefully I'll remember it.
Right.
We're North Coast Rap up here, man.
Your burrs. He's on the Slim Shady. Yeah, you just had a very steady drop there on your...
Slowly going. Because, yeah,
You peaked at 410. 415, really.
I peaked at 25. That's why I was so depressed when I turned 25. I knew it was all downhill from there.
You're right. We did a lot of cool things since you've been 25.
Yeah, some of which we can talk about on air.
Well, we had another kid.
We did.
Two more.
2 more.
Since you were 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had 2 kids.
2
Middle
kids,
one
bought a
has
house.
a job. Woohoo!
Oh yeah, that's right. Our youngest, no, not our younger daughter finally
Yeah,
got
middle
reemployed.
child.
Finally got a job.
Yep, she's back to work, a full-time job, paying her more than she's ever made. That's not saying much, but it's still more than she's ever made. So we are very, very happy. Who knows? Maybe she can save up and get at it. But anyway, no, yeah, we're real happy for her. I'm sure she's asleep.
Ain't no rap like a North Coast rap, because the North Coast rap ain't cheap. You got your Chevys, you got your Porsches, but we go rapping in our Jeeps.
Yeah, there you go. Nancy says, what's that layout in the pic next to you?
Oh, that's on the floor. I was running a Mallard, which is DC, so it won't run on my main layout. So that guy there was running, but he derailed himself, and I just gave up trying to get him back on. But that's just on the floor, right behind Joyce.
Yeah, we clearly need to find somewhere for it and expand it. But Anthony has kind of maxed out the space in here.
I've got a big layout, and I've maxed out space. Everybody talks about, well, take out one of these lines and make it DC. Nope.
Yeah. You're not talking for that. Maybe a little shorty. I don't think you talk him into that one. I don't know. You might have to go up. Problem is we have metal studs in this basement, which I guess is good for a basement or a cellar. But it's hard to...
I'll be even older in 10 days. That's what I'll be.
You better sign up for that insurance before you...
You got to tell me which one.
I'll give it to you tonight. You can do it.
All right.
Because it goes up more when you go up a year.
The problem is, even if I make it DCC, it won't run on my layout because my layout is 3-rail. It's AC. And I don't know how easy it would be to convert the Mallard to AC, 3-rail.
Hey, Sandy. Congratulations.
Yep. Andy's same age as me.
He's slightly older than you.
Slightly older.
Anthony always ages himself up the next
It's not,
year.
I would not credit it GWR. I don't know
birthday's
if
in
I would
December.
credit it to my track work. I credit it to the track. It's Miraklin C-track. It's pre-bedded. It's straight. It clicks together. It doesn't come apart. It doesn't wobble. It's almost impossible to get little
Good for you,
distortions in it. You know how, if you put your track together and you have a really hot or cold day, the metal expands and you get little buckles in it. This stuff already has expansion joints built into it underneath, so there's always good metal contact. It doesn't, you have to take a sledgehammer to make it out of line. So as long as I lay the curves properly, everything else lines up. So yeah. And the other thing is I don't use tight radius. I am fortunate. The smallest radius I have on here is radius 3, except in the parking area, which is radius 2. And then I don't park my big locomotives down here. They go up there. Yep, yeah. Cato Unitrack is very similar. Somebody and still drinking.
Which I said bravo.
Kato. I said Kato. Kato. Got to be correct. Kato. But yeah, and at the it's good trains and it's good tracks. So it's tracks and trains for dummies. So it's very hard to make it follow up. Because I'm the same guy that's got that Bachmann Easy Track down there on the floor. The picture behind me here, next to me here. And it's just, that Mallard does not like it. Yes, I have a 1/4 inch of foam board underneath, although technically I didn't need it. I did it with the ideas that it was supposed to help with sound dampening, which maybe it did.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Ooh, you're drinking a Warsteiner. That's a good beer. I like Warsteiner. I like Beck's better, but Warsteiner's good. But no, I know we all say Cato in English, but it is Cato. My linguistics degree beats me upside the head if I pronounce something wrong. If I know how it's pronounced, I pronounce. It's like my kids are that way too. My kids never say Berlin; they say Berlin. They don't say Potsdam; they say Potsdam because they've been to the cities and that's how it's pronounced. And their attitude is that's how you say it. Just like I get yelled at if I accidentally say Edinburgh. It's Edinburgh! I know, but we Americans tend to say Edinburgh, but now I say Edinburgh. Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky, Nancy. I don't know your situation per se, but I am in a climate-controlled basement, so the temperature is the same here, give or take 5 degrees all year long. So my foam doesn't expand, my track doesn't really expand. We're lucky we are in a very good situation here. Oh, that's a good one. Staropramen. Oh, Clyde, that is a great Czech beer. I had that for the first time about 10 years ago. And whenever I go to a certain restaurant in Germany that I know has it, I order it. Staropramen is really good. That is a great Czech beer. I love Staropramen. That is a really good beer. Well, I think it's about that time because we have to go out and I assume we're going to grab dinner on the road.
I would think so.
We have to go out.
Yeah.
We have to go shopping.
Budweiser.
Shopping gehen. Wir müssen shopping gehen.
But everything's on over here.
Well, that's the that's the controls for the Steuerwagen because it has its own decoder on that one. Okay. Actually, the Railjet has its own decoder, but it's run through the locomotive. That one has its own decoder that it runs itself. That one and the one Rheingold have their own separate decoders with functions.
All right,
All right. Well, anyhow, everybody, I want to thank everybody who popped in, those who have gone and those who have stayed. Yeah, Joyce and I have to head off, run out and do some birthday shopping because we're celebrating Cayenne's birthday tomorrow.
All these December birthdays.
All these December birthdays.
There's 2.
Yeah, how horrible. Shall we talk about somebody with all those May birthdays?
Usually celebrate one of them.
Yeah, but still.
It's not a problem for you.
Yeah, but we had to go to all the functions.
When? I guess when we were dating, huh?
Yeah. All right. So anyhow, we are going to say, please keep tuning in if you're enjoying the unveiling of the Fowler and Oak Advent calendar figures each day.
Yeah, please keep watching those.
I post them so that they go up 6:30 UK time, 7:30 a.m. mainland Europe time, 1:30 a.m. United States time. So until my next stream, or I see you all somewhere else, I'm going to say, Auf Wiedersehen.
Choose.
And happy trains. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Have a great weekend.
Yep.